If you've spent any time riding a motorcycle or driving a four-wheel drive or a side-by-side in the woods on the trails, chances are you've seen someone come past you doing something like this. Believe it or not, they're not telling you that you're number one or anything else, depending on which finger it is. That's actually a very important piece of being safe while out there off-road riding, and I'm going to explain to you what those hand signals mean. So every time I go out riding on a BDR, on a trail system, or just on roads in the woods, any kind of off-road situation, I'm always amazed at the inconsistent use of trail riding, of off-road hand signals. I want to make a video to kind of explain the signals, what they mean, and how to use them, in the hopes that maybe more people will start using them and be more safe out there on the trail. In short, when someone rides past you and raises a finger or two fingers or three fingers, what they're doing is telling you how many people are behind them, so that you don't get past that person and immediately start going full speed again. And or if it's a series of larger rigs or you're driving a larger rig, you can move over and give them room to get by in the opposite direction. Two four-wheel drives have a really hard time passing each other in certain trails and areas, and so it's really important for those signals. But even like a side-by-side and a motorcycle, it's so helpful to know how many people are coming after, and then when that group is finished. If Trav and I are out riding on trails or whatever, and I'm in the front and Trav is behind me, and I come across another group coming this way, I'm gonna raise one finger. And I'm gonna let them know with this one finger that there is one person behind me. I'm gonna give this gesture to every single person in their group, no matter how many people there are, there's always one person behind me. Now, the other group coming the other way, let's say they have 5 people behind. Or this is harder in groups of bigger than 6 because you run out of fingers, because you need to keep one hand on the handlebars. But if there's 5 people in a group and they're coming at me, the first person is gonna signal 4. There are 4 people behind him for me to look out for. The next person should give 3, because there's 3 behind them, then 2, for the next person, because there's only 2, 1, and then the last person in the group, closed fist. That's how you know it's the end of the group and you can continue riding at whatever pace, knowing that no one is coming at you head on immediately. And we do this for a lot of reasons. 1, it's just nice to know who's coming at you. 2, it's safer. There's a lot of blind corners and tight spaces out on these off-road trails, and this applies in an OHV area as well as just in the woods. And it just amazes me how often I will pass a group and they won't give any indication of who is coming after them. Or I'll give people a signal and they're like, yeah, peace to you too, buddy, or whatever. Or that's the short version of what these trail signals do. And I'd really, really like to see these being utilized more often out there on the trails. It'll keep everyone safer, and it's just an awareness thing to know. Next time you're out riding trails or in the woods and you see a group riding towards you, try the hand signals. Keep one hand on the handlebars or on the steering wheel, but if you're by yourself, it's a closed fist. There's no one behind me. Go at it, buddy. You know, if there's 2 of you, the first person says 1, second person says closed fist, no one behind me. Simple, easy to remember, easy to do, unless you're navigating like crazy technical terrain and need both hands on the bars or whatever. Try to throw those signals up, try to help people understand who's coming behind you, keep yourself and the rest of your group safe, and pay attention when people do the signals to you so that you know whether to just pull over and let the rest of the group go by, depending on the terrain. Depending on the terrain, there's a couple ways to react. Just ride more carefully, that's one thing you can do. If it's a super tight section, pull over to the side and let them come by if you have a good spot for that. If you're going downhill and they're going up, you should always pull over and let them come uphill, because it is so much easier to get going again downhill than it is uphill. So if you're at the top of a hill and someone's coming up and they signal you how many people are coming up, just wait there and let them make their hill climb. So there's some things to consider in terms of difficulty, who has the easier place to stop, and or if it's just a wide road, just keep your eyes open, but you don't really need to change what you're doing too much other than don't cut corners. That's super helpful. That helps everyone else out there be safe, and I just hope that if you didn't know about the signals, you know about them now and will start using them. And if you did, thank you. You're awesome. Please continue to do that. This is universal, no matter what you're doing, up to and including snow biking and snowmobiling and quads and 4x4s and side-by-sides and dirt bikes and dual sports and adventure bikes, all of it. It's a lengthy explanation for a simple concept. Let me know in the comments if you already knew about this or if it's new information, and any other signals that I may have missed. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you. This time, you are number one.
Excellent!
Video's over now.